Shana Tova. When I agreed to be president of CSI, I never in a million years imagined what this year would bring. While I'm addressing you in a nearly empty sanctuary wearing a mask, I want you to know that it is my privilege to serve as president of this special synagogue, Congregation Sons of Israel. CSI has been a second home to me and my family for nearly 50 years. The emotional, financial, psychological, and spiritual challenges we have faced over the past 6 months, and that we continue to face, have demanded levels of creativity, practicality, and cooperation in all aspects of daily life that we never required before. And so these very special days of the Jewish calendar, the days of awe, cause us to reflect on where we have been and how to go forward in our lives. They bring us together regardless of where we're coming from. We live in a vastly changing world, a world in which there is so much instability and uncertainty, a world in which there's a deadly pandemic, growing anti-Semitism and racism, and escalating threats to Israel's existence. Our coming together as a community is even more important, be it virtually or in person. Successes abound, but challenges continue. The challenges range from the seemingly mundane, how do I get enough toilet paper and cleaning supplies? How do I get my groceries safely? How can I even get my hair cut? To the more consequential, how can I see my elderly friends and relatives and be there for them if they become ill? How do my children and grandchildren get educated? What about my job? I'm isolated and miss my community, and my spiritual needs are not being met. Yes, these are very sobering and difficult issues. However challenging this time has been, it's also presented the opportunity for reflection, reevaluation, and hopefully and eventually positive change. We all keep hearing that this is the new normal. As many are grieving the old normal, we can embrace this new normal as an opportunity that includes every single person in our community. Who would have imagined that our service attendance would grow during the pandemic? Well, it actually has. There are more than 40, 50, 60 congregants each week at our Kabbalat Shabbat Zoom service. A similar number of congregants sign in to the live stream Shabbat service weekly. And a growing number of congregants attend morning minyan Sunday, Monday, and Thursday. Why the change? It's simple. We all want to feel connected. Zoom has allowed us to see each other up close and learn the names of people we didn't know before. Yes, we still need to do a better job of making current congregants feel valued and welcome, and to be more inviting to non-members who are looking for their Jewish home. I and the offices choose to be here because we have learned that this place matters. This place matters to young families looking to expose their preschoolers to Judaism through our outstanding nursery school. It matters to seniors meeting friends at the HaMishpacha events. It matters to families whose children participate in services or recite the Hamotzi at home. It matters to couples celebrating an Ufruf, a baby naming, in the same place where they had their bat mitzvah. It matters to someone who is sick and receives a call and food from the caring committee. And it matters to every person who wants to say Kaddish. But we have a problem, and we need to choose whether or not we are going to address it. Our choice won't determine whether or not we exist well into the future. We will. But our choice will determine what kind of community we will be. Communal studies tell us that all of you insist on being Jewish and yearn to relate to your Judaism in your own personal and unique way. Rabbi Kane, Cantor Shayevitz, staff and leadership are committed to create an atmosphere of comfort, camaraderie within our congregation, where both the novice and the learned can come together to understand their Jewishness. While that's a tall order, given the broad spectrum of individuality that exists, we will not give up trying. So, in many respects, it's all about connections. Connections to the Jewish people, connections to a Jewish community, to our beloved synagogue, and to each other. Our job at CSI is to help you and others make these connections. For more than 120 years, our synagogue grew to the incredible community we have today at CSI. Your community, one where you feel comfortable, welcome, and important. The work ahead of us as members of CSI, members of our local communities, state, and country is not for the faint at heart. Each of us must think hard and deeply to imagine a more evolved, inclusive, and equitable world. Your financial contributions are what allow our synagogue to continue to operate for another year at a time when we need it, and each other more than ever. The high holidays are still profoundly meaningful this year, but in ways that we could not have anticipated or appreciated a year ago. We have not abandoned you, and so each of you needs to make a choice. You cannot leave the decision until tomorrow, next week, or next Yom Kippur, and you definitely cannot leave the decision to other members of the community. If you agree that this place matters, choose it and invest in its future. How much do we need? Let's start with $75,000 and hope for $100,000. This will help make up for the reduced commitments and fund some additional programs that we cannot deliver. I urge every one of you to help us financially to the extent you are able, and then dig a little deeper to raise your last year's pledge by 20%. As important is 100% congregational commitment, be it at 18, 36, 180, 360, or $1,800 or more. The high holiday contributions go directly to paying our operating costs, salaries, and everything needed to allow CSI to be there for all of us. Yes, life is unpredictable. Life is a mystery. All we can do is keep moving, keep reading, keep observing, keep laughing, keep listening, and keep looking. Stay open. Open your eyes, your heart, your mind. Get good at knowing that life is going to ask you over and over again to get good at holding the paradoxes, both those things outside your control and those within you. But know that every single person in our congregation and the larger community matters. We need to join up with each other so we can move forward to help bring about systemic change. Take a minute or two to close your eyes. Think about the concept of a synagogue you want to create or leave to your children and grandchildren. Can you imagine it? When able, write it down, then take personal steps towards making your dreams a reality. I so look forward to the day when we can all sit together in this magnificent sanctuary. In the next months and years, I realize there is much work to do. We can and will do it together. In closing, I offer you my trust that I will lead with love, empathy, and compassion. I wish all of you a sweet and healthy new year. Shana Tova.